Hello students. Now you have already covered with issue of shares for cash for consideration other than cash. Now today we are going to take up with the most important topic in this chapter, forfeiture and reissue of shares. Very first of all, see that you all note down these basic concepts in the summary. I told you that in the beginning of every chapter leave 6 to 7 pages or sides blank. In that 6 to 7 sides or pages which are left out, you write the entries which we take up consecutively in the chapter, so that by the time the chapter is over, all the important entries and points are available at one place only. So where we finished with issue of shares at premium, below that you should have written issue of shares for consideration other than cash in the summary at one place itself. And where we finished with issue of shares for consideration other than cash, below that now you give the heading forfeiture and reissue of shares. Okay, the next topic what we will be taking up the understanding today is forfeiture and reissue of shares. In that, first we take up with forfeiture of shares. Now all of you understand the concept. What do you mean by forfeit? Confiscate. Forfeit means to confiscate. In simple language, what is the meaning of forfeiture? You would have come across instances where a person has taken, let us say, car at a loan from a bank or any XYZ party. Car is taken on loan. Now tell me, what will happen if you don't repay the money of loan of car? I repeat, what will happen if you don't repay the money of loan of your car? It's your liability to pay that loan. If you don't fulfill your liability, what will happen? The person will come and take back your car. He will confiscate your car. If you don't repay that money, he will confiscate your car. And the money which you had paid towards the loan will also not be given back to you. So if you purchased a car of 10 lakhs, you paid 6 lakhs, but you are constantly defaulting and not paying the last installment spending amount of 4 lakhs, bank will wait for some time. Okay, they will wait for month, 2 month, 1 year, not beyond that. After that, they will take action. What action will they take? They will come and confiscate, forfeit. Confiscate means forfeit, japt. In Hindi, what you call it as japt. वो car japt कर लेंगे. They'll confiscate, forfeit your car. And 6 lakhs what you have paid, gone. Forget it. Car also gone. Exactly similar thing happens in shares. We studied that shareholders are supposed to pay the money in installments. Application, suppose they have to pay 3 rupees. Allotment, they have to pay 2 rupees. First call, they have to pay 3 rupees. Final call or second call, they have to pay 2 rupees. Now shareholders paid application, then only we will allot them the shares. When shares were allotted, they paid 2 rupees also. When we asked further money, they paid 3 rupees also. But when we ask for the final call, they are constantly not paying that money. They are constantly not paying that 2 rupees which we asked for the final call. They means not everyone. Odd man out, call scenarios. Few of the shareholders or one of the shareholders is not paying this 2 rupees in spite of giving constant and frequent reminders. Now company will have to take action against that. What action will company take if it does not pay 2 rupees of final call in spite of frequent reminders? Company will cancel. Company will cancel the name of the shareholder. If it doesn't pay this 2 rupees, company will cancel the name of the shareholder from the register of shareholders. from the register of shareholders means it is the shareholders' liability to pay full 10 rupees. The liability is limited, it's a limited company. But 10 rupees they have to pay. He has paid only 8 rupees in spite of frequent reminders. He is not paying 2 rupees. So company will cancel his name from the register of shareholders. And the same shares they will issue to a new shareholder. They offer the same shares to the new shareholder. That new shareholder's name will be inserted in the register of shareholders. This entire process of cancelling the existing shareholder's name from the register of shareholders and offering the same shares to the new shareholders is called forfeiture and reissue of shares, wherein forfeiture is just cancelling the name of the shareholder and then offering the same to the new shareholder is considered as reissue of shares. So this is the entire process to be done within the limits of rules framed in articles of association. You cannot go beyond that. That is your boundary. Once you have made articles of association, you make rules in that you will give how many reminders to the shareholder, 1 reminder, 2 reminder, 3 reminders, and then you'll mention in the articles of association the rule after the third reminder. Example, after the third reminder, if shareholder does not pay the money, then company will forfeit the shares. So all this process is to be done as per the rules framed in articles of association. Now all of you put your pens down, don't write. I will explain the entire entry because proper spacing is to be done. After I explain you the entire entry, then you pause the video and then you write the entry. Okay, you pause the video and then you write the entry. So understand the entry for forfeiture of shares. In one word, you remember what is forfeiture? In one word, forfeiture is cancellation. Okay, in one word, forfeiture is nothing but cancellation. Okay, forfeiture stands for cancellation. So what entry to be passed? Understand this. See, whenever we pass the entry of application or allotment or call money, we always credit, I repeat, we always credit share capital account. For example, what was the second entry of application? Share application to share capital. Okay, share application to share capital. What was the first entry of allotment? Share allotment to share capital. What was the first entry of call? Share call to share capital. Basically, what I am trying to explain to you, what are you doing with this share capital every time? What are you doing with this share capital every time? You are crediting it. Now, forfeiture means you are cancelling that shareholder's name from the register. Share capital has been credited earlier. Now, what will we do to cancel and close that account? It is credited. To cancel and close that account, we will reverse and debit. So very first thing what we shall be doing in forfeiture of shares is share capital account debit. Reason, share capital was credited earlier, so to close the account we reverse and debit share capital account. Are you all clear with this? Second point, if shares are issued at par, well and good. But if shares are issued at premium, then what happens? Premium you include in these entries only, these 3 entries only. Means in share application you credit 2 share capital, 2 security premium. In share allotment you credit share allotment, 2 share capital, 2 security premium. And even in call, share call, 2 share capital, 2 security premium. Now, In application, the premium will always be paid. It's quite obvious because in application, first you pay the money, then you are allotted the shares. First we receive the money, then we transfer to share capital. Do you remember this? First receive, then transfer to share capital. But in allotment and calls, in allotment and calls, first we transfer to share capital, then we receive the money. Means first we pass the entry, share allotment account debit, to share capital account, to security premium account. Then we receive the money. So bank account debit, and of course there will be calls in arrears, then only forfeiture will take place. Calls in arrears account debit to share allotment account. So can I say that premium is being credited before we receive the money? First we pass the entry of the money due, then we receive the money. So in allotment and calls, premium is credited in the first entry, and then after that we pass the entry of receiving it bank to share allotment. Can I say that premium is credited before we receive the money? I repeat, security premium account is already credited before we receive the money, because we credited in which entry in allotment and call? Due entry. First we transfer to share capital and security premium, in the next entry we receive the money. So third time, last time, premium is credited before we receive the money. Now what if the money is not received? Did we consider security premium as incomes and gains and credit security premium account or not? But now premium is not received, the money is not received. So premium is also to be closed. We considered it as our income and credited it, but it is not received, so it is not our income. So premium account also, to close it, we reverse and debit it. So security premium account debit. Okay, security premium account debit. Same reasons. Why do we debit share capital? To close the account. Same reason. Why do we debit security premium? To close the account. Share capital and security premium both are credited earlier. Now to close those accounts, we have to reverse and debit. But in security premium, there is a specific reason. We credit and consider it as income before receiving the money. Now if the money is not received for premium, then it is no more our income, it is not our income. So we have to close the account and debit it. Earlier it was credited, so to close it we have to reverse and debit. But mind well, we have to close this account and debit only if premium is not received. I repeat, security premium you have to close and debit only if premium is not received. If premium is already received, means there are no calls in arrears in that installment, then we don't have to close it, because then premium is received, it is our income, we credited it correctly only, and it is received also later on. When does the situation of closing the security premium account arise? Only if the shareholder does not pay that installment which has premium. So if suppose allotment has premium, call has premium, if in allotment shareholder pays the money, there are no calls in arrears, then no need to debit security premium account. Call has premium, shareholder does not pay the call money, means automatically he has not paid the premium also along with the call. In this situation, we have to debit security premium account because we credited before receiving it. Now premium money is not received along with the call, entire call money is not received. So to close the premium account, we have to reverse and debit. Okay, so once again, share capital and security premium, both the accounts are debited to close them. Earlier both are credited, to close we reverse and debit. Next, to share forfeiture account. To share forfeiture account. Now what is share forfeiture? See, I told you in that car example, if you have already repaid a loan of 6 lakhs 4 lakhs is pending, and if you don't pay the money further, what will happen? The bank will take back the car, and they are not going to give you back that 6 lakhs of amount. No, they'll not give you back. That 6 lakhs, the bank confiscates, forfeits. What is that 6 lakhs for the bank? It's an income. Same way here also. If application money, as I explained you in the beginning, is 3, allotment is 2, first call is 3, final call is 2. If shareholder does not pay this final call, what will the company do with this 8 rupees 3 plus 2 plus 3? Company will forfeit that. Company will not refund it back. Company will not refund it back. Company will forfeit that, because as a shareholder you are supposed to pay 10. So you don't pay 2 rupees doesn't mean company will give you back 8 rupees. That 8 rupees company will forfeit. What is this 8 rupees for the company? It's an income. Because as I said, reissue of shares means you'll give the same shares to someone else and again collect 10 rupees. So this 8 rupees you are getting extra only. Okay, you'll offer the same shares to someone else and collect again full 10 rupees. So this 8 rupees what old shareholder has paid is an extra income for the company only. So credit all incomes and gains. That 8 rupees which the shareholder has paid, we credit it to share forfeiture account. Okay, so this is the only odd man out. Why do you credit share forfeiture account? Because whatever the shareholder has paid is an income for the company. Credit all incomes and gains. So you credit that to share forfeiture account. Now, calls in arrears was previously debited. So to close it, now we reverse and credit. Okay, what is the entry we pass for receiving the money? Bank account debit, calls in arrears account debit, to share allotment or call account depending upon the installment where there is calls in arrears. So calls in arrears are debited. Now we debit it with the rule debit the receivables. They are still receivable, not yet received. So debit the receivables. Now the shares are forfeited. So is it any more receivable? I repeat, the shares are forfeited, cancelled. So the person whose shares you have forfeited, in future will he pay you 2 rupees now? You have removed his name from the register of the company. Will you ask again 2 rupees from that person? No. So that 2 rupees of calls in arrears now is no more receivable, because we are going to offer the shares to the new shareholder. So what will we do to close this calls in arrears which is debited earlier? We will reverse and credit. Okay. So all of you understand this. Once again, it's a very simple entry, and every one of you must be writing it 5 times. I repeat, all of you must write these entries 5 times so that you remember it perfectly well. Okay, what entry it is? Share capital account debit, security premium account debit, to share forfeiture account, to calls in arrears account. Share capital account we debit, security premium account we credit, and calls in arrears account we credit with only one reason: to close the account. Okay, share capital, security premium, and calls in arrears are debited or credited with one reason only: to close the account. Share capital and security premium is earlier credited. To close it, we reverse and debit. Calls in arrears is earlier debited. To close it, we reverse and credit. Share forfeiture account is the only account which we credit by the rule credit all incomes and gains. Because whatever money the shareholder has paid won't be refunded back. So that is an income for the company. Credit all incomes and gains. So we credit share forfeiture account. Okay. Share capital, security premium, calls in arrears are reversed and closed. Share forfeiture is credited by the rule credit all incomes and gains. So entry is very simple. 2 accounts debit, 2 accounts credit. Which 2 accounts debit? Share capital and security premium. Which 2 accounts credit? Share forfeiture and calls in arrears. Okay. Which 2 accounts debit? Share capital and security premium. Which 2 accounts credit? Share forfeiture and calls in arrears. Now, Amounts are important. What amount will you record against them? Share capital, number of shares forfeited, number of shares forfeited multiplied by called up capital per share. Called up capital per share. Amounts are very important. Every one of you have to remember this. You have to remember share capital account will be debited with called up capital. What is called up capital now? Same example I'll take. Suppose application is 2 rupees, allotment is 3 rupees, first call is 2 rupees, final call is 3 rupees. If final call is not paid and forfeiture is done after final call, then company asked for entire 10 rupees, so called up capital is 10. But suppose first call is not paid. Shareholder did not pay first call of 2 rupees, and after first call you do the forfeiture. Then company has asked from the shareholders only 7 rupees so far. Company has asked from the shareholders only 7 rupees so far. This is called up capital. This the company will call in future, and when in future they call the money, the new shareholder will also pay. Right now, you pass the entry share application to share capital with 2 rupees. You have credited 2 rupees to share capital. Share allotment to share capital with 3 rupees. You have credited 3 rupees to share capital. First call to share capital 2 rupees. You have credited 2 rupees to share capital. So share capital you have credited with only 7 rupees. This entry is not passed only. Up till now the forfeiture of shares, this entry is not passed only. Means share capital you have credited with only 7 rupees what you have called from the shareholder. So now if you close and debit that account, you have to debit it with the same account which is credited earlier, that is 7 rupees. So what will you remember? Simply called up capital. Share capital account you will debit with called up capital and of course multiplied by number of shares forfeited. Security premium with number of shares forfeited. Okay, security premium with number of shares forfeited multiplied by premium not paid by the shareholders. Okay, premium not paid by the shareholders. As I said, security premium account we credit before receiving the money. So if later on money is not received, we have to close and debit that account. So only if the money is not received. Therefore, you will debit it with the premium amount which is not paid by the shareholders. Now share forfeiture account with number of shares forfeited multiplied by number of shares forfeited multiplied by amount paid by the shareholders. Amount paid by the shareholders. Okay. So as I discussed with you that loan rupees 6 lakhs what you have paid will be confiscated or forfeited. Same way here, whatever amount is paid by the shareholder, 2 plus 3, 5 rupees will be forfeited and not given back. That 5 rupees amount paid by the shareholder is an income for the company and you credit to share forfeiture account. And calls in arrears, number of shares forfeited. Okay, number of shares forfeited multiplied by amount not paid by the shareholders. Which amount did you debit to calls in arrears account? amount not paid by the shareholders. So now when you close that account and credit it, you have to credit with the same amount which is not paid by the shareholders. So now all of you can pause the video and note down these entries. Okay? All of you can pause the video and note down these entries. 2 accounts debit, 2 accounts credit. Share capital account debit, security premium account debit, and 2 accounts credit, share forfeiture account credit, calls in arrears account credit. Now regarding the amounts, you remember share capital, called up capital, security premium not paid, forfeiture paid, calls in arrears not paid. I repeat, share capital, see the red thing, underlined letters, share capital, called up capital, security premium not paid, share forfeiture paid, calls in arrears not paid. This amounts is what you remember. Called up capital, premium not paid, amount paid, forfeiture, and not paid, calls in arrears. Pause the video and note it down. Then I'll take up with the entry of reissue of shares. Okay, now we take up with the entry of reissue of shares. Now understand what is reissue of shares, everyone. As I said, company will cancel the name of old shareholder and issue the same shares to someone else. So they will offer the same shares to someone else is called reissue of shares. Means there is no purpose of forfeiting if you don't give the same shares to other person. The purpose of forfeiting is not fulfilled if you don't offer the same shares to someone else. So reissue of shares. Company will again receive the money in the bank. So bank of the company is the receiver, debit the receiver, bank account debit. And generally company will offer these shares now at a discount. Why discount? Because company does not have to give from its own pocket. Okay, like I said to you, if shareholder does not pay this 2 rupees, or let us say even this 3 rupees, whatever it is, if company offers the shares to someone else, and even if they give discount of 1 rupee or 2 rupee or 3 rupee, company has to pass on that discount from this 7 rupees only. Company already received 7 rupees extra. So if new shareholder, even if they pay 1 rupee less, 2 rupee less or 3 rupee less, company is not at a loss. Because company will give the discount to the new shareholder from the amount which was already paid by the old shareholder. I repeat, company will give discount to the new shareholder. Even if new shareholder pays less amount, up to 7 rupees, company is not worried about it. Because what he did not pay was only this final call of 3 rupees. So even if the new shareholder gives 3 rupees only, company has got 7 from old shareholder, 3 from new shareholder, company got its 10 rupees. So ideally company, even if they offer 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 rupees discount to the new shareholder, it is not a loss for the company, because this discount company has to just pass on from this 7 rupees only. In short, company does not give this discount from company's own pocket. Company gives this discount from old shareholder's pocket. Old shareholder paid some money to the company. From that, they pass on discount to the new shareholder. This which the old shareholder paid was credited to which account? Share forfeiture account. So same account we will reverse and debit. Same account we will reverse and debit if we give discount to the new shareholder. Why same account we will reverse and debit? As I said to you, company does not give discount from its own pocket. Company gives discount from old shareholder's pocket. Old shareholder, whatever money he paid was credited to share forfeiture account. Same money will be utilized to give discount. So same account you will reverse and debit if company at all gives discount to the new shareholder. to share capital account. Now, you know there is the saying in Hindi that दूध का जला छाछ भी फूक फूक के पीता है. दूध का जला छाछ भी फूक फूक के पीता है. What does this mean? Once you had a bitter experience from the old shareholder, now you will not make the same mistake of calling the money from installments from the new shareholder. Means new shareholder, now you'll say you pay full 10 rupees right now. You will not tell him you pay application, allotment, first call, final call. So new shareholder will pay full money at one go. Entirely we will credit it directly to share capital account. Means now in reissue, again you will not have any installments of application, allotment and call. Full amount in reissue will be straight away credited to share capital account. And if company is in a commanding position, then forget about discount. If many people are ready to buy company's shares, company may charge premium also. So instead of discount, if company charges premium, then you will credit to security premium account. Okay, instead of discount, if company charges premium, then you will credit security premium account. So keep it in mind, these are alternate things. Both you will not have. Either you will have share forfeiture if the company gives discount, or you will have security premium if the company reissues the shares at premium. Credit all incomes and gains, so credit security premium. Now bank account with number of shares reissued. Mind well, number of shares reissued. Number of shares reissued can be different from number of shares forfeited also. Maybe you forfeit 100 shares, but there is no new shareholder to buy 100 shares. But there is a shareholder ready to buy 80 shares. Then right now you sell 80 shares. Remaining 20 shares you will sell later on when you find another buyer. So 100 are forfeited, but right now you are selling and reissuing only 80 shares. Forfeitures entry you will pass with 100 shares, but reissues entry you will pass with only 80 shares. So in forfeitures entry we take number of shares forfeited, but in reissue entry we take number of shares reissued multiplied by reissue price. Okay, multiplied by reissue price. As I said, you may give discount to the new shareholder. So if you offer at say 7 rupees, the number of shares reissued into reissue price 7. Share forfeiture account debit with number of shares reissued multiplied by discount per share. Okay, number of shares reissued multiplied by discount per share. As I said, if the company gives 3 rupees discount to the new shareholders, reissue price 7, 3 rupees discount, that 3 rupees company has to just pass on from the money forfeited earlier. So same account you will debit with that 3 rupees. From that 7 rupees which was forfeited, you will pass on the discount of 3 rupees. To share capital account with number of shares reissued multiplied by called up capital. Same called up capital which you debited earlier. Okay, same called up capital now you will reverse and credit again to share capital account. And security premium with number of shares reissued into premium amount. Number of shares reissued into premium amount. So in this reissue entries, what you have to remember? Bank account with reissue price, share forfeiture account with discount, share capital with same called up capital, and security premium with the amount of premium, and all multiplied with number of shares reissued. Okay. So forfeitures entry, share capital account debit, security premium account debit, 2 share forfeiture, 2 calls in areas, Share capital, called up capital, security premium, premium not paid. Share forfeiture, amount paid, call scenarios, amount not paid. Reissue of shares, bank account debit with reissue price, share forfeiture account debit with discount, 2 share capital with called up capital, and 2 security premium with the amount of premium. And either you will have discount, that means shares reissued at less than 10 rupees, or you will have premium, that is shares issued at more than 10 rupees. So either forfeiture will be there or security premium will be there. Now immediately after you reissue the shares, then whatever profit company has earned, means how come you find the profit company has earned? See, old shareholder already paid 7 rupees to the company. New shareholder, again you give discount of 3, means let us say you collect 7. So 7 from old shareholder, 7 from new shareholder, you are collecting 14 rupees for 10 rupees shares. 4 rupees is the profit for the company. That profit is transferred to capital reserve. Because it's one time profit, it's a capital gain, it is transferred to capital reserve. So one more entry will come, share forfeiture account debit. Why share forfeiture account debit? Because that amount remains in share forfeiture account. Here share forfeiture you credited with the amount paid of 7 rupees. You debited with the discount of 3 rupees. So that 4 rupees of profit is remaining in which account? Share forfeiture account. So to close that account with the 4 rupees pending in that account, we reverse and debit. And we transfer it to capital reserve account. How would you find its amount? Amount forfeited, that was 7 rupees, what the old shareholder had paid, minus discount allowed, that was 3 rupees. 4 rupees is the profit for the company. That is one time profit. So share forfeiture account we will close and debit. Earlier it is credited. And that capital profit we transfer to capital reserve account. Okay. So these entries all of you noted down properly. And once it is noted, we will start with the practical questions. So forfeitures entry everyone had noted down. Now you can pause the video and note down the entries of reissue of shares and profit. Okay. Okay, so all of you should have noted down the entries of reissue and profit. Okay. Now we take up with one practical question to understand this concepts what we have done today. So all of you refer to page number 15, question number 8 of your study material. Page number 15, question number 8 of your study material pamphlet of share capital issued to you. Understand the question properly, and whatever workings we are doing in this question, understand them properly well. They will be helping us a lot in solving the journal entries. Workings are very important. They'll be helping us a lot in making the journal entries, particularly getting their amounts. Now question 8. Quality Plastics Limited invited applications for 50,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. Invited applications means it is the issued capital. Face value is 10 at a premium of rupees 2 per share. So premium we will credit to security premium account. Now how is this 10 plus 2, 12 payable? 6 per share on application, 4 per share on allotment, and rupees 2 per share on final call. Application is including premium, means out of 6 rupees of application, 2 is premium, so 4 is towards the face value. I repeat, out of 6 rupees of application, 2 is premium, so 6 minus 2, 4 is towards the face value. 4 of application towards the face value plus 4 of allotment towards the face value makes it 8 rupees, plus 2 of final call makes it 10 rupees. So here there are only 3 installments, 2 entries of each installment, 6 entries, plus the entries of forfeiture, reissue and profit. In all 9 entries are going to be there. The entire amount of share money is received in full except with the exception of allotment money on 3000 shares. These are calls in arrears. In allotment, what are the calls in arrears? 3000 shares. One shareholder holding 3000 shares did not pay allotment money. And final call money on 4000 shares. These are again calls in arrears. But including 3000 shares on which allotment money has not been paid, means out of this 4000 which are calls in arrears in final call, same 3000 shares holders who have not paid allotment money, they have also not paid final call money, and in addition 1000 more shares final call money is not received, so total makes it 4000. Okay, I repeat, final call money is not received on total 4000 shares, but in that 3000 shares are the same ones who have not paid allotment money. And it's quite obvious. One shareholder who does not pay allotment money would also not pay the next installment, that is final call money. So this is one shareholder holding 3000 shares who did not pay allotment money also and final call money also. And there is one more shareholder holding 1000 shares who did not pay only final call money. So this 3000 plus one more 1000, total on 4000 shares we have not received final call money. Okay, in this 4000 shares of final call, this 3000 of allotment calls in arrears are the same ones, and in addition one more shareholder holding 1000 shares and not paid final call, so 3000 and 1000 makes it to 4000. Now the above 4000 shares were duly forfeited. So when are they forfeited? They did not pay final call money. After that they are forfeited, means they are forfeited after final call. This will help us in getting called up capital. After final call means in this entry we have to record the called up capital. That called up capital is full 10 rupees. Company has asked full 10 rupees. Company has asked full 10 rupees. But the shareholder did not pay final call. After that forfeiture is done. So at the time of forfeiture, after final call, the called up capital is complete 10. Now 4000 shares are forfeited, but 3000 shares on which allotment money has not been paid. I told you 3000 and 1000, there are two shareholders. This shareholder, 3000 shares who did not pay allotment money also and final call money also, they are only reissued. See, I told you it is not necessary that all the shares what are forfeited are reissued. Here also I gave you the example that 100 are forfeited but 80 are reissued. Here same way, total 4000 shares are forfeited, but only this 3000 shares are reissued. And at what price? 8 rupees. Means discount is 2 rupees. Okay, against 10 rupees you are collecting only 8 rupees as fully paid up. Means against 10 if you are collecting 8 rupees, then what is the discount you are offering for this entry? Forfeiture is the amount of discount. That discount what you are offering is 2 rupees. Company transferred unpaid money to calls in arrears account. This will be given in all the questions. We always have to transfer the money of not paid to calls in arrears. Pass necessary journal entries in the books of above for the above transactions. Now, before we take up with the journal entries, as I said, we'll have to make 3 workings. So first we'll make up with those workings, and these workings will remain common in further questions. One working we had done in the very first question also. So first 3 questions, 2 questions you tried on your own. That working is going to remain same. So first working is make the columns of installment, then face value plus premium total. After total amount we will have calls in arrears. Okay, after total amount we will have calls in arrears. So calls in arrears also, we have 2 shareholders who have not paid the money, and then again total. Names are not given, so I keep it blank, but there are 2 shareholders who have not paid the money. So calls in arrears divided in 2 parts. Now Installments, all of you write down application, allotment, and call. There is only one call here. Face value. Application, all of you can see here is 6 rupees, but that includes premium of 2 rupees. So we can write 4 is face value plus 2 is premium. Total of application is 6 rupees. Okay. Allotment is 4 rupees and final call is 2 rupees. There is no premium in allotment and final call. Total also 4 rupees and 2 rupees. Means total face value 4 plus 4, 8 plus 2, 10. Total premium 2 and 10 plus 2, total amount what we have to collect 12. Now calls in arrears. One person holding 3000 shares has not paid allotment money, and obviously he has not paid call money also. And there is one more shareholder holding 1000 shares who did not pay call money, and that's why the total calls in arrears and allotment are 3000, but in final call it is 4000. Okay, how did we get this 1000? You can see final call money was not paid on 4000 shares, which is including 3000 shares on which allotment money has not been paid. Means in this 4000, 3000 is same what allotment money is not paid. So there are one more shareholder holding 1000 shares who has not paid call money. That's why it comes to 4000. Okay. Now further, second working we will always make of called up capital so that it helps us in getting the amounts of forfeiture and reissue entry. So always you just state it. You just have to state it in the workings. It will help us. Called up capital. Since forfeiture is done after final call. Okay, forfeiture is done. All of you can see after final call. So called up capital is entire 10 rupees. Okay, entire 10 rupees is called up capital. And third we will find amount forfeited. Amount forfeited means which amount do we require here? This amount. Share forfeitures amount. How do you find the amount forfeited? Number of shares forfeited into amount paid by the shareholder. Number of shares forfeited into amount paid by the shareholder. Now in this workings there is a trick to get it easily. Just cross multiply this 3000 you take with the amount which is not against that, that is 4 rupees. Because 3000 are calls in arrears means they have not paid allotment and call. What have they paid? Only application. So 3000 into 4. Okay, one shareholder's amount forfeited is 3000 shares. He has paid only application money of 4 rupees. Allotment and call he did not pay. So 12,000 will be forfeited. And the other one, 1000 shares you will cross multiply, but here he has not paid call money. So when you cross multiply, he has paid application plus allotment. 4 plus 4, 8. Means on this 1000 shares, 8 rupees is paid, application and allotment. Only call money of 2 is not paid. So 8000. Okay. Be careful how will you find the forfeiture amount. 3000 shares have not paid allotment and call. So all of you remember the shortcut method trick. Cross multiply. Okay, go diagonal. Take the amounts which are not against that. Okay, this is a shortcut method to remember. So 3000, you cross multiply with the amount not against that, that is 4 rupees of application. 1000 if you go diagonal and cross multiply, it will come with this 4 plus 4, 8 rupees which is not against 1000. So cross multiplying will get you the amount easily. Otherwise the concept is on 3000 shares they have not paid allotment and call. So they have paid 4 rupees. What is paid? 3000 into 4, 12,000, that is forfeited. On 1000 shares they have not paid call, means they have paid application plus allotment. 4 plus 4, 8 rupees. So what is paid will be forfeited. 1000 into 8, 8000. This is the trick to get it very easily. That's why we make this workings. Cross multiply. Okay. 3000 cross multiply with this 4. 1000 cross multiply with the remaining amount of 4 plus 4, 8. Now all of you make this format journal entries in the books of Quality Plastics Limited. You can pause the video and make the format. Then we start with the question. Okay, let's take up with the entries now. See, forfeiture is after final call. So first we'll have to pass 2 entries of application, 2 of allotment, 2 of call normal, as we did in the initial questions, exactly same thing. So those 6 basic entries are going to remain as it is. First entry of application, bank is the receiver, debit the receiver, bank account debit, and temporarily we transfer the money to equity share application account. We have to pass all the entries with 50,000 shares which were offered, because no information is given full subscription, under subscription or over subscription, means all entries will be passed with 50,000 shares. So 50,000 into application money, we will receive 6 rupees in all. So 50,000 into 6, that is 3 lakhs. Application money received is 3 lakhs. Okay, as I said, keep the narrations short and simple, being application money received. Next, second entry, equity share application to equity share capital. Now here there is premium also, so to security premium account also. Equity share application account debit. You'll close it with full amount of 3 lakh rupees. To equity share capital account. Now equity share capital only with the amount of face value. Okay, equity share capital account only with the amount of face value. So same 50,000 shares, but multiplied with the face value. All of you can see in the first working that application's face value is 4 rupees. In application, the amount towards the face value is 4 rupees. So 50,000 into 4, 2 lakhs. And to security premium account. To security premium account with the amount towards premium. All of you can see in the first workings, premium amount is 2 rupees. So same 50,000 shares into 2 rupees towards the premium will be credited to security premium, that is 1 lakh. Okay, being application money transferred, being application money transferred. Try to keep the narrations short, sweet. Okay, short and sweet. Third, now 2 entries of application are done, 2 entries of allotment. First, we pass the entry of allotment money due. So share allotment account debit. Allotment now does not include premium, so simply share allotment account debit to, in fact, equity share allotment account debit. Everywhere we have to add the word equity. So equity share allotment account debit to equity share capital account. As I said, all entries we have to pass with 50,000 shares multiplied by allotment money. All of you can see is 4 rupees. So 50,000 into 4, 2 lakhs. Narration being allotment money due. being allotment money due. Now all of you, if you remember, we discussed in the initial first and second lecture questions that when we pass the entry of receipt of allotment and call money, look at the workings. Do we have any call scenarios in allotment? Yes, 3000 are call scenarios. So will we pass a single entry or a combined entry? You are right, combined entry. So bank account debit with the money received, calls in arrears account debit with the money not received, to equity share allotment account. To equity share allotment account, we have to credit and close the account. So we credit. And if you remember, I said to you, you'll remember that amounts we will go reverse. For amounts will go reverse. So first you'll credit allotment account with full amount of 2 lakh rupees. Calls in arrears you get from here. Calls in arrears will get from here 3000 into 4. So calls in arrears are 12,000. 3000 shares have not paid allotment money of 4 rupees. So calls in arrears 3000 into 4, 12,000. And then 2 lakhs minus 12,000, 1,88,000 is what is received. Okay. So these all we have already studied in earlier portion. I am not explaining in detail again. Exactly same way, two entries of call: equity share final call account debit, equity share final call account debit to equity share capital account, as we discussed, all entries we have to pass with 50,000 shares. So 50,000 shares into, all of you can see, final call money is how much? 2 rupees is final call money. So 50,000 into 2, final call money due is 1 lakh. Being, okay, I forgot the narration here. In allotment, all of you can write the narration I am dictating. Being allotment money received. Okay, being allotment money received. Now in final call, being final call money due. Being final call money due. Then next entry, again when we pass the entry of receipt of final call money, look at the workings. Do we have calls in arrears? Yes. So 4,000 are total calls in arrears multiplied by 2 rupees of final call is not paid. So 4,000 into 2. What are the calls in arrears? 8,000. Combined entry will be passed here again. So bank account debit with the money received. Calls in arrears account debit with the money not received. To equity share final call account. To equity share final call account. Now for the amounts we will be going reverse. So final call account you will credit with full amount of 1 lakh. Calls in arrears, as I discussed, in final call 4,000 into 2 rupees of final call total. On 4,000 shares we have not got final call, into 2 rupees of final call, so 8,000. And 1 lakh minus 8,000, that is 92,000 is received. Being final call money received. Okay, being final call money received. Now These 6 basic entries have been passed. Now the important entries come up: forfeiture, reissue and profit. So as we discussed in forfeiture, 2 accounts we have to debit share capital and security premium. 2 accounts we have to credit forfeiture and call scenarios. However, security premium you have to debit only if the premium is not paid. Only if the premium is not paid. But if you see it carefully here, premium was with application and that premium is paid by everyone because it is with application. Which installments are not paid on this 3000 and 1000 shares? Allotment and call, that doesn't have any premium. So in this situation, premium is entirely collected. Premium is entirely collected means security premium account we don't have to debit in this particular question, because the security premium what we credited is correctly our incomes and gains. It was with application, so this entire 3 lakhs we have already received. Means what we have credited to security premium 1 lakh is actually our income, we have already received that. So no need to close that account. In short, security premium you have to debit only if the premium is not paid. In this question, premium is with application and it has been paid by everyone. So security premium is not to be debited. So which 3 accounts remain? First you pass the entry, then you go with the amounts. Always follow this rule. First pass the journal entry, then you go with the amount. Security premium will not come in this question. So which all accounts will we debit? Equity, share, capital account debit. Security premium will not come. So straight away to share forfeiture account. 2 accounts we have to debit, 2 accounts we have to credit. Security premium doesn't come. So which 2 accounts we have to credit? To share forfeiture account and to calls in arrears account. Now regarding the amounts. Share capital I told you, remember, with called up capital. Here called up capital all of you can see is entire 10 rupees after final call forfeiture is done. So number of shares forfeited, that is 4000. Total 4000 shares are forfeited into called up capital is 10, so 40,000. Okay. Total 4000 shares are forfeited. All 4000 are forfeited, you can see here. And called up capital is 10 rupees. So formula, number of shares forfeited into called up capital per share. Number of shares forfeited 4000 into called up capital 10, 40,000. Okay. To share forfeiture, no need to calculate, just write working note 3 in bracket. That's it. Because its calculation we have already done in working note 3 here. Okay, what is the amount forfeited? 12,000 plus 8,000, 20,000. From working note 3, 12,000 plus 8,000, total amount forfeited on all 4,000 shares is 20,000. Okay, this formula, number of shares forfeited into amount paid by the shareholder. This is already applied in this workings, for which there was a shortcut, cross multiply. So 3000 into 4, 12,000, 1000 into 8, 8,000. That formula is already applied here. So 12,000 plus 8,000 directly from working note 3 share forfeiture you credit with 20,000. And calls in arrears, just reverse the previous amounts. You can see here calls in arrears is 8,000. Okay. And you can see here again calls in arrears is 12,000. So 12,000 plus 8,000. Okay, 12,000 plus 8,000. You will reverse calls in arrears with total amount of 20,000. And you all can cross check. 20,000 plus 20,000 makes it 40,000. So calls in arrears debited in 6th entry is 8,000. Calls in arrears debited in 4th entry is 12,000. So 12,000 plus 8,000 we have to credit and close it with 20,000. Okay. Being 4,000 shares forfeited. Being 4,000 shares forfeited. Now we will reissue the shares. And in reissue, what is the entry to be passed? Bank account debit, share forfeiture account debit, or to security premium. Here we will have forfeiture because there is discount. We discussed. The shares are issued at 8 rupees means 2 rupees is discount. So bank account we will debit, share forfeiture account we will debit to share capital. Again, first we'll pass the entry, then we'll go with the amounts. So all of you write down bank account debit, then share forfeiture account debit, and then to equity share capital account. To security premium we will not have, as I discussed. Either you will have share forfeiture or you will have security premium. Here the shares are reissued at discount, so we'll have only share forfeiture. Now what is the formula we discussed? Bank account with number of shares reissued into reissue price. Here we have reissued only 3000 shares. All shares are not reissued 4000. Only this 3000 allotment and final call shares are reissued. And what is the reissue price? 8 rupees. So number of shares reissued 3000 into reissue price 8 rupees, 24,000. Now if they are reissued at 8 rupees, we discussed against 10 minus 8, 2 rupees is discount. So same number of shares reissued 3000 into discount of 2 rupees. So 6000 is the discount. And to equity share capital 3000 into called up capital is 10. So 30,000. Okay, share capital we have to credit with called up capital. So called up capital after the forfeiture and reissue is 10 rupees. So 3000 into 10, 30,000. Being 3000 shares reissued. Then last entry for profit. Now see, this profit we have to find as amount forfeited minus discount. Now here all of you may mention one more thing. Amount forfeited on reissued shares, because profit we will calculate only on those shares which are reissued. Like here 3000 shares are reissued, so we'll work out the profit only on 3000 shares. Remaining 1000 shares, when they are reissued in future and we get more money, then only we can earn profit. So profit is worked out only on those shares which are reissued. It's a part of reissue entry only. Here 3000 shares are reissued. So what was the amount forfeited on this 3000 shares? 12,000. What is the formula? Amount forfeited minus discount. First you pass the entry. Share forfeiture account debit to capital reserve account. Okay, share forfeiture account debit to capital reserve account. And what is the formula I made you write? Amount forfeited. Amount forfeited, but what did I make you insert? Insert it in the summary. Amount forfeited on reissued shares. Here we have reissued 3000 shares. On 3000 shares, what is the amount forfeited? 12,000. So amount forfeited on reissued shares, 12,000. Minus. What is further I made you write? Minus discount allowed. Discount you get it from the 8th entry. This is the amount of discount, 6,000. From 12,000 forfeited amount of 3000 shares, we passed on a discount of 6,000. So what is our profit? 6,000. I repeat, amount forfeited on reissued shares 12,000 minus discount. So you always get it from working note, okay? Amount forfeited on reissued shares 12,000 minus same 3000 shares. What is the discount? 6,000. So 12,000 minus 6,000, profit is 6,000, being profit on forfeiture. Being profit on forfeiture. Now if we do the total of journal, that would come to 3 plus 3 6 lakhs plus 4 lakhs 10 lakhs plus 2 lakh 12 lakh plus 40 70 12 lakh 76,000. Or if we can do that, 12 lakh 76,000 is the total. So this is how the journal entries are to be passed. Okay, all of you will be trying one more similar question in the homework. which is mentioned in the schedule, that is question number 21. Okay, question number 21, you'll be all doing it in the homework. Of your study material. It is similar to this question, I won't discuss it. Question 21, you all would try on your own. Okay, so that'll be all for this lecture. We end up the today's lecture. More practice on 4 feature, will do it further questions. Bye everyone, take care, goodbye, bye bye.